Okay, if everything has gone according to plan, we should be live on YouTube. Hello everyone and welcome to our Cyber Monday stream. A bit late simply because Amazon is being really dumb. Like I don't know why, but it's just like not working. So while I'm trying to fix that, I wanted to just get into this and basically lay out some rules for this live stream if you guys are new to the game. Now, basically the way it works is that we try to build a PC using only stuff that is on sale. Now, it can only be on sale as part of Black Friday or in this case Cyber Monday. And we also have a very strict budget we try to stick to. And a lot of it will probably be the same as Black Friday because it has all just come into this giant blob of sales days that are always there at the end of November and now into early December as well. It used to be that Black Friday was just Black Friday, then they added Cyber Monday, which is more like always tech and online shopping deals, and then there was like a whole weekend of deals in between, and now it's just like a whole week of just deals. So one of the things I'm very curious about is if there is going to be any difference. Is Black Friday and Cyber Monday actually any different? Or are we going to get the exact same deals, exact same prices? That is one of the things I really want to see. We'll be doing a pretty good experiment here for the good of humanity, really. A lot of you are wondering if you're getting good deals, if the deals for Black Friday Cyber Monday are even worth it, are they any different? We'll be finding that out. Now, one of the things I'm also wondering about, and I need your guys' input for this, is if we should make the budget the same as on Friday, because it was $1,600, which was fine. It was fine, however, it was still kind of rough because of mostly the memory pricing. So I want to know if we're going to make it the exact same price, and it's going to be a bit, I don't want to say boring, but I think it could be a bit too similar to Friday's stream, or we just make a different budget and we see if that's going to be any different when compared to Black Friday. So you let me know your thoughts in the live chat, because it's going to be, again, I'm not expecting anything major. I think for the most part it is going to be very similar to the stuff we experienced last time. But again, I'm curious, I'm open to being pleasantly surprised, and maybe we'll actually get something decent. To refresh everyone's minds, if you've missed the last stream, let's quickly go into what the PCs looked like that we built last time. And for some reason it is a blank. Why are you doing this to me, OBS? There we go, now you can see them. So these are the PCs we built for $1,600 during the last stream. They're not the best in the world by any means, but they were okay. And the biggest thing was just the fact that we are able to get that very weird deal that Crucial did. That was pretty much the only memory kit actually on sale on Amazon. It was 32 gigs plus a 4TB Gen 5 drive for $539, which together was pretty decent, especially given the RAM apocalypse we found ourselves in. The Newegg PC was a bit more interesting. Some parts were more expensive, but overall it kind of made a bit more sense, and we actually had a couple of dollars spare. So I want to see what it's going to look like today. Hey, Justin's in the chat. Welcome. You get to see firsthand exactly how different or not different Black Friday and Cyber Monday will be today. So let us just go into it, and while you guys submit your kind of suggestions for what do you think the budgets should be for this. So again, we'll be starting off with Amazon and seeing if they have anything special. The first thing I'm gonna see is if there are any CPU deals, because last time on Friday, the strangest thing, I've never seen it before, no deals for any CPUs, and this time around again the same thing. I have no idea why not a single CPU is part of these Black Friday Cyber Monday sales. Why? I really do not understand why, but it also means that we have free reign and it can pick pretty much any CPU because, well, otherwise our game would like not work at all because nothing's on sale and we kind of need a CPU unless we just bought one of these mini PCs and called it a day, which that would be kind of cheating, so I don't want to do that, and I just have to pick something that is just generally available. And last time we kind of focused on the 9600X, which we went for in both. Actually, no, it was the 7600X in the Amazon one, I believe. So if we can get something around the same area here, where is it? So what did we go for in the end for Amazon? On Amazon we went for the 7600X, and that was $180. Okay, is that still available? It is, and it is actually $2 cheaper. So that's something. Okay, cool. And I think that is going to be the focus of our PC again. And if we go for the same budget, I think, I don't know, should we go for the same budget, or should we go for something like even tighter and like see what we can do for, I don't know, like $1,400? Like we'd have to cheap out so much on a CPU and a graphics card. I think it would be fun. I think that would actually be the PC where we have to go for like a GT 1030 just to get some memory. Speaking of that, I think next one we need to look at what is the memory situation like. Not DDR6.5, that's no such thing. DDR5, there we go. And yeah, again, I'm pretty sure that deal is gone because I'm not seeing it. It was on the first page and now it's nowhere to be seen. Oh, these prices are so depressing to look at. 128 gigs, over $1,000. 96 gigs and over $1,000. That's even worse. I like to think that I had something to do with the fact that that deal got sold out so quickly and that's no longer available, that I helped promote it to people. And now it also means that it's gone and we can't use it for part 2 of this game. But again, it does mean we do have free reign over what we choose because everything is available because nothing is on sale. That does give us a bit more freedom, but also still the prices are atrocious. The prices were slightly better over on the Newegg side though, just because we had that one kit for $230. I do not think we're going to be seeing a kit here for $230 unless I missed it. There is this right here that's obviously laptop memory, so not of interest to us right now. Let's tone it down a bit. Anything under 300 I'd say would be a good result right now. I highly doubt we're going to see. There's this. It's a single stick though. And there's this right here. It doesn't have any heatsink though, so it's going to really kind of struggle. Ooh, right here, it's white, so we'd have to kind of get a white bit around that, but you know, 32 gigs for $257, that's about as good as it gets in these depressing times of ours. Though, to be fair, that Course of Vengeance kit could possibly look good with something like that motherboard, but it is not on sale. What else do we have for under... Also, okay, let's further refine it down to just 32 gigabytes. Oh yeah, and if anyone's wondering, if anyone's new here and wondering why I'm constantly kind of looking off to the sky somewhere over there, that's because that's where I have my chat. So that's where I get to see exactly what the stream is doing, and if the stream is even alive. If it has just gone down, and I've just been talking to myself. Yeah, I think that white Corsair kit could be our best choice here, because it's looking rough. Really, really rough. To be fair, at almost the same price, you can get some Corsair Dominator right here. 6400 megahertz. It's not going to be that much more expensive. Though, to be fair, we're going to have to probably save every single dollar possible. So, okay, I think we're going to just start with this. We're going to work kind of backwards again. Start with the memory, and then work everything else. And again, let me know, guys, what kind of price, what kind of budget we should target again. Should it be the same? Should it be something different? You let me know. But for now, we'll just start with this. So, memory. It is going to be some Corsair Vengeance RGB DDR5 RAM. It's going to be white, we have to remember that. And it's going to cost us just a mere $257. making you wanna cry, but that is just the reality of the world we live in. So there we go. And if you're wondering what the colors are, basically when we start to add stuff from Newegg, we're going to have a nice quick look at what is cheaper, what is more expensive between the two. So now that we know that, next thing is to look for a good motherboard. And again, we'll be mostly having to work from the fact that the memory is white, so we'll probably have to go for a white overall build if there is hopefully any white motherboard on sale. I'm not seeing any thus far. Oh, no. Just as I say that, there's this one right here. It is M80X as far as I can tell. Yeah, it is M80X. But it's a Strix. A Strix for $200 definitely ain't too bad. You have a B650, but that's obviously a slightly lower end board, and also it's kind of a half white. Whenever you talk about PC parts and the colors, it can very often sound very weird out of context. Talking about mixed race motherboards. Okay, we do have quite a few other options in one. We have the Asus Asus Tough one right here. It's a Z890, and it's actually the exact same price. You are getting like a current gen, not it's a current gen. What's having a it's current gen. Had a bit of a brain fart there about what even generation Z890 is, because who cares about like current gen Intel stuff. But yeah, it is current gen. That means we will be limited to a current gen Intel system, but that's a really good deal for a pretty high-end motherboard. Like again, it was the exact same price as a B850 one, though if we wanted something cheaper, there's also this right here for X870. It's AMD. It's $10 less, but it's also black. And again, we'll probably want to go for something that matches the rest of the build. There is NTXT, but also it's kind of expensive, so probably not. And then there's this thing if we really want to save a few dollars, though it's LGA 1200, so that would be kind of restrictive. I'm pretty sure that still is going to be DDR4, so that memory isn't going to work either. And we've also wandered into the no man's land of Amazon, the wild wilderness beyond the first 2 pages where nothing makes sense anymore, and the stuff you search for just kind of disappears and you get replaced with just the most random of items. So I think our choices are kind of limited to those 2 Asus motherboards. I think honestly it's mostly just Asus stuff I'll be looking at here. There is this from Gigabyte, but it's $280, which is again a bit more than I'd want to pay for a motherboard, especially given how much of a budget is being taken up by the memory. If we had more budget, if the memory situation was normal, then I think we'd go for that. So I think our main choices will be that B851. There's also this one right here. It's a B860. So that's like a budget chipset right now for Intel. But are we going to be hurting that much for money, for budget, that we couldn't just go for the full-fledged ADX and also Z890? If push comes to shove, we can always go back to M80X one. But for now, I think this is the first time we are building a PC with a current gen Intel Core Ultra 200 series CPU. I'm pretty sure that has not happened on this series just yet, and we've done quite a few of these already. So now if we go into CPU world, we need to pick something from that. So hopefully those aren't too overpriced. And I want it to be a Core Ultra 285K 500, maybe not. 265K is not available at all. I'm aiming to spend around $200 if possible. It also means that our CPU is probably going to be completely unbalanced with our motherboard. Like, you should... Are we really going to go for a Z890 motherboard, but then also a Core Ultra 5 CPU? That makes no sense. And again, that makes me think maybe we should just go for an M80X board. We should maybe just go for an M80X build. And then that gives us a bit more leeway in, going for a slightly higher end CPU. Now, to be fair, I don't know how much more it is going to help, because that... Let me just go Intel Core Ultra, there we go. Because the price difference is so wide. Because it goes 245k F for 190. Then there's no 7s available at all. Well, there are, but they're $300 because there's some like weird third-party offers. And then you get the 285k, which is $510. So, going for a slightly cheaper motherboard isn't going to get us like a whole new tier of CPU, unfortunately. Going for a cheaper motherboard, all that's going to give us is slightly more budget for something else. So I think we can just go for the 265F, and then basically if we need a few more dollars, we will just downgrade the motherboard. This is such a dumb build already, but again, it is going to be dumb. These builds this time around are incredibly dumb because of how we have to really set out our budget, how there's no CPU sales, how the fact that RAM is like 3 times as expensive as it should be. So I think we're going to go for that. Again, if anyone can remember a time when we did actually use an Intel Core Ultra 200 series in one of these builds, do let me know. Anyway, what should we do next? Let's go storage. Let's go for a good SSD and see what is available on some of the deals. Just as a reminder, we had that combo last time for Amazon, so there's no price we're trying to beat because that was with the memory and SSD together. It was a 4TB one though, and if you want to go 4TB again, that's $370 already, so probably not. Is that really all? By the time we get to the second page, it's just going to be like external SSDs and stuff like that. Yeah, only one page of NVMEs. Like, not even that, like half a page of NVMEs. Your choices are Samsung, 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 or for a change, Samsung. So I think we're going to go with Samsung here, just to spice things up. The 9100 Pro, 2TB, $190. That's going to be enough for your main boot drive, and also just to house all of your other games, so we don't kind of go for like a dual solution, which I try to go for whenever the budget allows. I generally kind of prefer the method of having a primary SSD for just Windows, and then another much larger one for all of your other stuff. I feel like that's a better approach, but whatever. Again, if our budget allows for it, we could go for that. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Also, I just realized you weren't looking at what I was looking at. There we go. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. It's just a page, half a page of Samsung SSDs, both NVMEs and externals. And then you get like externals from Seagate, external from who even knows, some Lexar stuff, Lacey, Ukraine, enclosure. That's not even SSD, which is an enclosure, WD, thumb drives, and King spec for 512GB for $33. So yeah, we'll be going for this. And that is going to go right here, and it is going to cost us, how much did I say, $190, which means that we are pretty much free, 2/3 of our budget there, and we haven't even picked out a graphics card. Fun. Okay, let's see what's available for graphics cards then. This isn't going to be pretty, I'm certain. We're probably going to have to go for something like a 560 Ti just to make this. Though, to be fair, we went for 560 Ti last time, I'm pretty sure, as well. Actually, no, we went for 5070. We went for 5070 on the Amazon build. And I was looking at the 5060 Ti's, but eventually there was no need. And then we went, I believe, AMD? No, we went 5070 for the Newegg build as well. Okay, I misremembered what happened last Friday. Is that a bad thing? Is it bad? I can't remember what stuff I even chose a couple of days ago. Okay, we need to go back to this and see what is available. So we're not that strapped for cash that we need to go for the 3050. Do I just do the same thing again and go for the 5070 and then work backwards? Actually, no. I don't think we even have a 5070 on sale this time around. The 5070 has been like always on sale. Every single time since the 50 series came out, the 5070 was the card we went for. And now it's only 5060 Ti's, 5060s. Again, only Asus. I'm pretty sure we had some stuff from MSI on Friday, but that's all gone. And we have a single Intel card as well. It's an A380 from Sparkle. The Sparkle Alpha. Oh boy. Okay, so it's not as hard of a choice as I imagined, because we literally are limited to either 5060 Ti or a 7900 XTX for $809. So yeah, I think we're just going to go for the 5060 Ti. And if we really need to downgrade, we'll go back and go for, I don't know, an A380 or a GT730. I wanted to really buy one of these just for fun and like see why they still sell them. What's the business of selling such ancient systems, such ancient graphics cards in 2025? Like, why they even keep these listed? Like, or even if anyone buys them? I think that could be like interesting. I don't know, would you care about seeing that kind of video? That could be maybe fun. Anyway, 560 Ti from Asus. Unfortunately, it is not white. It's not going to really match the rest, but again, there's nothing else available. There's this thing right here from Zotac. It's a 5070, but just not available. No price, no nothing. Which is weird. And then if we go to the second page, yeah, like I said, just the wilderness of Amazon. You get anti-sag brackets, you get PSUs, you get motherboards, and basically all stuff that isn't a graphics card, even though I literally just searched for graphics card. I get a GTX 1050 Ti. Okay, whatever. We're just gonna go for this, and yeah, again, it really does help with the fact that we don't even have to act like there's a dilemma between choosing a 5070 or something else, because there is no 5070. Okay, let's just go into PSU next. Sure, let's go PSU next. PSU. Honestly, we don't even have to go for 850 watt like last time. We can simply just go for a 750 watt because we're not going for a 5070. And right off the bat, we're seeing some pretty good options here from MSI. Thermaltake, again, I saw some very kind of mixed reactions to the Thermaltake ones. Some people say it's fine, and others say, like some reviewers were saying that they couldn't even finish all of the testing before it finally gave up the ghost and blew up in the faces. So I probably want to stay away from Thermaltake and probably focus on just getting something from, I think MSI is going to be the best option here. We actually went for the Rosewood one. I'm pretty sure for the Newegg build, because there's like people were saying, oh, you should like trust Rosewood. So okay, I did. But there's a 650. Could we get away with a 650 for a 5060 Ti? I always like having that headroom, and it's like a few dollars more, but it also saves you so much more money when you then go to upgrade. It's also modular, so there's that. I'm not seeing anything that would be a better deal. You can get 850 for $10 more, roughly, from Be Quiet, but let's just go for that, and then, yeah. If we have like $10 spare, maybe I'll go back and pick up a slightly bigger PSU, but for now, we're just gonna go for this. I messed something up. Why is, I see what I messed up. I put the GPU in the CPU cooler. There we go. So, MSI Mag A750GL is a PSU of choice, and it costs how much again? $88. Cool. Next up, let's go for the case. Also, if you're wondering why I'm constantly kind of like ducking out of the way whenever I'm entering anything into the spreadsheet, that's because my camera's kind of half blocking it. So yeah, that's why. Case-wise, we paid how much last time? We got like a really good deal for an Aerocool one, yeah. $48 for an Aerocool case. And if it's on sale again, I think it could be a pretty good choice because it was white. There's this right here. It's a bit more expensive, but again, it's from ASUS, so you know it's gonna be good, or at least decent enough. It's not too much more expensive. I do wish it was roughly the same price as that, but again, if it's not possible, then whatever. Oh no, it is available. It is available, and it's available at the exact same price. That is awesome, and that we're going for this straight away. The D501A right here is our case of choice yet again, and yet again it's going to cost us $48. Okay, so we still need a CPU cooler. The reason why I wanted to go for the case first before the CPU cooler is because, again, it kind of gives us a good idea of what we need in terms of fans, whether it's better to go with an AIO or just an air cooler. And with this, it was, what, 4 pre-installed fans. So you get 3 at the front and then an exhaust at the back. So what we can do is just go for a CPU cooler. If we get a good price for a 360mm, that's also in white, we could go for that, just to complete all of the fans, but then also we could maybe instead go for an air cooler if we don't. And to be fair, we have quite a bit of budget left, right? Because if we're going for the same budget of $1,600 as before, then we still have $151 to play around with. However, if we're going for a lower budget of $1,500, well, that's still a decent enough little budget to get probably an air cooler, because we still have what, $51 to play around with at that point. If we find a good air cooler at around a price, because with this kind of CPU we're probably aiming for at least like a dual fan, dual heatsink setup, something like this, which again we went for last time, the Peerless Assassin from Thermalright. And I think, honestly, we're going to go for it again. Which means we could easily close this out in $1,500. And that is also going to be the price that they're going to have to try and beat over on Newegg. So this is what I'm talking right here. It is the same one we had last time. But in terms of AIOs, there's quite a few on sale, as you can see. There's even this one, but I wouldn't want to go for a 240mm AIO when there is a 360mm mount on the case, because that would just look dumb. Also, I'm sorry, why does it say mounting type here and it's just a picture of a fan? Huh? Oh, Amazon. And of course there are a bunch of 360mm ones, but again, they're a bit out of our budget, and if we want to stick to that 1,500 just to make things, just to spice things up a bit compared to Friday, yeah, let's just go with that. So if we go back to the spreadsheet, how much they say it costs, $38. Okay, so this gives us a pretty good hello, why is that like not, yeah, I want, okay, let me just quickly do this, 38, just so it copies the formatting. There we go. So we have a pretty good comparison between what was available on Friday and also now on Cyber Monday. So obviously that big and only deal for the SSD plus RAM was not available, which is a shame. But in the end, it kind of did save us money just because, well, we didn't go for a 4TB SSD. So that's one thing to keep in mind. We only have 2TB here. CPU wise, the 7600X was, what was the deal with the 7600X that we didn't go for it? How much did it cost again? It was the same price. Actually, it was $2 less. But I think, yeah, the reason why I went for the Intel one was just because of the memory situation. We had to kind of work backwards, wide memory, thus wide motherboard, and the best option there was Intel, thus we went for the Intel. And to be fair, I mean, 76 on X versus a 265F. I mean, we're definitely getting a lot more performance on the CPU side, which is good because we're also losing a lot of performance on the GPU side because there was not a single 5070, and overall it was like probably the worst graphics card Black Friday and Cyber Monday in history on Amazon from what I've seen. Okay, I can't say the worst in history when it comes to GPUs because I remember doing these when there was a big GPU shortage, and that was definitely way, way worse. But still, not the best. And in general, this was probably like for PC parts, the worst Black Friday and Cyber Monday I can remember on Amazon. But we still got a 5060 out of it for $350. Then 2TB SSD. Again, it was only Samsung stuff that was on sale, which was kind of weird. PSU from MSI, 750 watts because we're not going for his 5070. And also the exact same case, which costs the exact same on Friday as on Monday. So yeah, which one of these do you prefer? Oh, okay, obviously you're going to prefer the first one from Friday because it has a 5070. But this one at least costs $100 less, so that's something. I don't know why I even ask. It's like it's a competition. This one costs $100 more and has twice as much storage. It has a better PSU, better graphics card. It does definitely have a worse motherboard though, and CPU as well. Okay, let's just go on to the Newegg side of things as instead. Let me just switch over to. There we go, and welcome to Newegg. Let's see what they have for Cyber Monday. I want to see again what combo deals they have. If there is something good that isn't based on DDR4. Again, it's the stuff that isn't DDR4, it's only Core Ultra 200 series. That's weird. There's no one buying them, and that's why they're just putting them as part of these combos. To be fair, look at this deal right here. You get yourself a CPU, a Core Ultra 7, to be specific. To be even more specific, it's a 265K. You get a Z90 motherboard, memory. I'm assuming it's going to be what? 32 gigs. Wait, no, what? 16 gigabytes? Really? Okay, that's going to be kind of disappointing. But again, I guess given the current circumstances, I'll take it. Oh no, it is 32 gig. Cool, and you get a case. I think this could be a really good starting point. Especially considered when just the memory itself is going to cost around, what, $250 at least? That is we're saving, as it says right here, $280 pretty much. Should we go for this combo? Guys, let me know in the chat if we should go for this, or if we should try and build something from just whatever else is available. Because we didn't go for a combo last time, on the Friday. Which is a shame because the combos are usually pretty good, but again, there was just nothing good available on Friday. This is going to eat up quite a bit of a budget, but considering how that's pretty much everything we need right there, like we spend another, I don't know how much, we spend another $500, $550 on a graphics card, and we still have a bit of money left for just storage, CPU cooler, and PSU. Oh, should we go for this? I think we should go for this. It's a really, really long name. It's gonna look really, really dumb in a spreadsheet, but whatever. So, this goes here, here, and here, and here. There we go. And it's just gonna cost together $660. It's gonna be very difficult to compare, obviously, the pricing between Amazon and Newegg because it's all we're getting it all as a combo. But if it's worth it, I mean, again, that's a pretty decent saving. Okay, so we're gonna go for this. We're gonna go for this, and also we'll see what else is actually available. There is one more combo, but that is $930. So that's gonna be a bit too much for our budget right here. So whatever, let us just focus on the graphics card because that's gonna be the next major thing here. And again, I know I said it like a lot during the Black Friday stream, but if you're planning on buying literally anything on Amazon or Newegg during Cyber Monday, use our links, which will be down in the video description below, because it can be literally anything. It does not have to be the thing that the links lead to. As long as you do your shopping there using our links, then we get some of the money and you can pay anything extra. In fact, you pay less because again, it's Cyber Monday, so plenty of deals. And it helps a lot, especially now that we're kind of finalizing everything for CES, which is going to be huge. It's going to be a much bigger trip for us than even last time. So yeah, and obviously it's not cheap to go to Vegas. Vegas is not a cheap place. The hotels aren't cheap. The food ain't cheap. The plane tickets very much aren't cheap either. So yeah, just a quick reminder. And also, it's also one of your last chances to get the Christmas cards we're doing for this year for Patreon. So basically, if you're at least a $10 tier patron, you get a special Christmas card and also some stickers as well. We bundle in as well. I'm hoping to get them sent out in the next few days so they actually arrive before Christmas. I know that some of them can definitely very much take a while, so hopefully they will be sent out in the next few days. So again, we have a few days left if you want to sign up for Patreon. $10 and you get a Christmas card every single December. So you can either start a collection or you can continue your collection if you're already a Patreon. Anyway, now that all the begging for money is out of the way, we can focus on the graphics cards. So we want to aim for a 5070 again, because that's what we went for last time. And how much did we pay last time as well? $527. Because we went for exactly this one, the Prime, yeah. So I think we're not going to be able to beat that. So if we just set our maximum to be around 550, and then our minimum, I don't think we're gonna, yeah, okay, whatever. Just to kind of take away some of the very budget graphics cards from the list. Actually, no, let's go to like 400. So it gives us a very kind of narrow budget for graphics cards. There is a 9070, but I think we're gonna probably go for a 5070 over 9070 here. $5060s, 5060s, 5060 Ti's, 5060 Ti's, 9070 XDs. Okay, yeah, I think we're gonna go for the same one. There is also the Zotac 5070, but that's a bit more expensive. Actually, no, you do get $20 off of this one. Okay, I need to pay attention to those. Where's the there? Okay, so this one's 527. Is there anything that's a better deal? If I'm missing something and you guys are seeing it, please do let me know. However, I don't think we'll find anything that is cheaper than that when it comes to the 5070 range. Yep, let's just go with this one. And even if the Zotac one with the sale is going to be almost the same price, it's going to be a tad more expensive, this one is a triple fan one, while this one is a double fan, so we can expect some more performance from that as well. Okay, so 5070 it is as our graphics card of choice. Yet again, it is going to be pretty similar, I think, when it comes to some of these other choices when compared to the Friday build. Also, why is this not working? Because that should tell us that we are paying... Where's the one I'm looking for? There. That we're paying less over on the... Actually, no, wrong way around. We're paying more on the Newegg side of things. That's because it is a 5070. Because we didn't even have a 5060 Ti on... No, yeah, because we didn't even have a 5070 on Amazon. Okay, next up, let's go for a PSU. Actually, no. I want to sort it through just to make sure I'm getting everything that's on sale. I'm going to stay here in this menu. Once again, these really weird gift cards. Newegg always do that. Newegg always just do these very strange deals. They offer you like $100 of gift cards for like $90. I really want to understand just the way that works, the way those deals come about. It's literally just free money. Granted, you're basically tying yourself to buying something from Lowe's, whatever Lowe's is. I'm assuming it's an American brand. But still, power supply time. Here we are going to have to go for the 850 watt because we are going for the 5070. So that ain't changing compared to Friday, but that is going to be slightly more than we're paying for Amazon today. What did we go for? We went for, I think, this one right here from Roseville, the CMG. Was it? No, it was the Roseville ACA. Sorry, my bad. What on earth is the Roseville ACA and how does it differ from the CMG? I'm not well versed in the Roseville product stack, unfortunately. It's not a brand I paid too much attention to, and I don't think most people have, but clearly they have to be doing something right if they're still, you know, actually being sold and have pretty decent ratings. But our goal is to at least pay around, how much was it last time? Oh my word, I was looking at the wrong column. Roseville ACA, that's a case. The PSU was the Cooler Master MWE. So it was the case from Roseville, but it was the PSU from Cooler Master. It was for $80. Is it going to be somewhere here? Well, first off, to make things a lot easier for ourselves, let us quickly go to this wattage range right here. We do have the Roseville one at the exact same price as we paid for the Cooler Master last time. There's this Cooler Master MWE that's $90 more expensive, but I'm not seeing the Cooler Master one we got last time. Okay, so that's something that's different. We don't have that same PSU, but so what's the next one? There's the Roseville one. I trusted Roseville with a case. I wouldn't trust them with a PSU, I don't think. Oh no, there is. I'm just absolutely blind. These glasses, clearly not good enough. I need new ones. It was staring at me right in the face. Cooler Master MWE, $80 again. That is the exact same price. Oh my word, was I on the wrong screen again? There. It was right in the middle of the screen. Boom. And I missed it. Okay, so in terms of other deals though, I mean for 850 watts, you can go all the way for even like $160 here for a Seasonic one. But obviously we don't have that kind of budget. So we have to go for Cooler Master, which that wouldn't be my first choice when it comes to PS2s. I'd definitely go either for like a Be Quiet or Corsair or a Seasonic, obviously. But again, we are so tied down on budget when it comes to some of those other things that we kind of have to go for that. In general, there's a pretty decent choice here, but we're gonna go for this one from Cooler Master yet again. Unless, again, I'm just completely blind. So, and I just missed some other really good deal of a PSU. So, $80 for this. And what else do we need? We have a case. Okay, we need an SSD. Cool. Let's go for that next. SSD. There we go. I think we went for like a 2 terabyte one last time. What did we go for? Oh yeah, we actually went for 2. We went for a 2 terabyte like a main drive. Well, actually no, the P and Y was going to be like a main boot drive, and then 2 terabyte 990 Pro, not Pro, Evo, as your main games and generally big file drive. So we're going to try and beat that. Hey, welcome back. Seeing some more faces from the Friday stream. Hello, hello. How was Wancho? Did they have as much fun as we're having here, browsing through Amazon and Newegg, being depressed at the state of the memory market right now? The first thing I want to check is if the Evo is still available for the same price of 160. So if we quickly search for 2 terabytes, 990 Pro. Where's the 990? 990 Pro, 990 Pro. Where's the Evo? 990 Pros again. Okay, I think that one is very much not available on sale today when compared to Friday. Unless, again, I'm just blind, which very much could be the case. But I'm only seeing 990 Pros from Samsung. I'm not seeing any 990 Evos. And that's what we went for last time. Which means we have to go for something else. And that something else would probably be... Okay, let's go... Let's try at least to match. Go 2 terabytes. And we paid $160. Man, SSDs, especially like Gen 4 ones, are so cheap now. I was an early adopter on the whole PC Gen 4 hype. I got what was pretty much the first PC Gen 4 SSD on the consumer market, that kind of golden copper, but golden Aorus one. It's a beautiful heatsink, by the way. But I remember I paid so much for that. That was one of the main reasons I went for like an X570 motherboard as well back then. Just to enjoy the full benefits of PC Gen 4, even though it made like barely any difference. But I wanted to be an early adopter so bad, just so I can make videos on it or whatever. I feel really bad for people who still make your SATA SSDs, because they're just so not price competitive anymore when it comes to NVMe SSDs. And like, I really want to like the format. I mean, it's great, right? You can get something fast in a hard drive, but it doesn't take up your precious PCE lanes. And it also works with plenty of, you know, older systems as well. But it's just like so difficult to be enthusiastic to really even ever consider adding them to your system anymore, when the price per terabyte is pretty much almost 1-to-1 with that of even like pretty high speed Gen 3, sometimes even Gen 4 NVMe's. I mean, right here, you can get what, a 2 terabyte regular SATA one right here versus a 2 terabyte PC Gen 3 one here from Kingspec. Again, not probably a brand I would really trust a lot with all your data, but like, that's still, it shows you that per terabyte they've almost converged. Not quite, but almost converged. In terms of actually matching our price from last time, I think it's becoming kind of difficult, because I'm not seeing anything close to that from Samsung or anyone else. The closest thing right here is this WD Blue. Which, hey, WD Blue, that's still a decent enough SSD. It's a bit of a downgrade going to be speed-wise, but we are also saving a few dollars. So we are going to go for that. Where is our... There it is. And if we do have any money left over, we can always just go for like another drive. Again, that's going to be like your main boot drive. Okay, cool. And again, why is this not working? Conditioning formatting. Yep, there we go. Nope, wrong way round. There we go. So yeah, we're definitely paying a lot less on Newegg, but again, the speed difference between the Samsung and the WD won't be that noticeable. But it's more the thing of knowing that you are getting the best possible deal, even if it's something that you're not going to make use of. A lot of people just like to know having that they got the most optimal thing they could. Wait, is there more to the honey drama? I know it all blew up a couple of months back, but has there been something more? When it comes to honey, I have not been keeping up, so. And thankfully I was never sponsored by honey either, so I don't really know. And yeah, thankfully I wasn't affected, but I know it was like a pretty big scandal for the people who are being sponsored by them. Okay, what do we even have left? Just CPU cooler, and then we're done. That went really fast, but I guess that's what it is when you get 4 of the parts you need already in a single combo, so you don't have to do the looking yourself. Okay. Now let's have a look at what we have when it comes to cooling. So last time we spent $50 for a 360mm AAO. I remember. That was a crazy deal. Are we going to be able to match it again? Was it this one right here? The A13? No, it was the Cooler Master 360. I'm not seeing it right off the bat. There it is. Yeah, $50 again. Well, first off, one thing we need to double check is what kind of case we have. So it's a Montech X3 mesh, and that gives a good idea of what kind of fans we need with it. So it comes with how many fans? So does that say it comes with 6 pre-included fans? So you have a case that already costs $60, and it costs as much as, like, what, 3 standalone fans you'd normally buy? How bad are those fans that they can include so many? I'm serious. But that also kind of makes me wonder where we'd even mount, because you're getting all of the fans. If I understand correctly, you get 3 here. That's gonna be on 120s. You get 2 here. That's gonna be on 140s, and then 140 at the back. So we probably want to go for an air cooler then, because we don't need to add any more fans to the actual case itself. Okay, so that's good to know. So if we go back here, back into PC cooling, and let's have a look. How much budget we have? That's like another big question. Okay, we have plenty of budget. We're only on $1,422, so we have quite a bit to play around with. What? Honestly, you could even go for something like this, like a Dark Rock Pro 5. Definitely keep our CPU cool. Would probably match the rest of the PC pretty well. And it makes pretty decent use of our budget. So I think we could just go for that and call it a day. Let's go for this. Let's put this here. And for $80. Oh my, wait, what? Was I looking at the wrong thing? Why do they think it's like $2 less? Okay, we need something that's like $2 less. That could actually be kind of tough. So we need something that's just, that's annoying. If we had just $2 spare, we could go for that. That's a really, really good cooler. We can't go for a regular Dark Rock, not the Pro, but a regular one. And again, we have quite a bit of money left over, and you can use that to get yourself, I don't know, whatever you please. Okay, first off, let's fans and heat sinks. I guess that's what I want. It's a very confusing sorting system. Like, what if I want to go for an AAO? There's no sorting for an AAO here. CPU air coolers. Like, yeah, is there just like no AAO filter? And now that I look at it, once we've taken away everything else, the amount of air coolers on sale is not great. And it also very much confirms that we have a single choice on here, and that's the Dark Rock 5. It is 1851 compatible out of the box. And at $66, it means that we have $12 spare. Nice. I don't know what you can even buy for $12 anymore. I'd make a joke that's something like, oh, you can get yourself, I don't know, a meal at McDonald's for $12. Can you even get yourself a meal at McDonald's for $12 now? I don't know, I can't remember the last time I even went to McDonald's. Oh, so the case was dropped by the court? Interesting. I need to read more into that then, because I had no idea that the saga was still going. Or that they were even sued, really. I thought that people were just kind of, you know, talking about it. It was a whole mess, and then I didn't know it actually went to court. Huh. Okay. I definitely need to read up on that. But in the meantime, there's a system. So overall, price-wise, I mean, $1 single difference between the one from Amazon and the one from Newegg. However, they are worlds apart when it comes to some of the specs, primarily when it comes to the graphics card. 5070 versus 5060 Ti, even though they are next to each other on the obviously kind of tier ladder for NVIDIA graphics cards, the 5070 is very much going to have a noticeable difference as well. We are also going for a Montech case instead of the AeroCool. We're going for an 850 watt PSU instead of 751. We're going for a slightly slower WD Blue SSD, still 2 terabytes, but surprisingly, they are very similar in terms of the CPU and motherboard. So not only did we have one system today based on Intel 200 series, which again, I'm pretty sure that's the first time it ever happened on this series, we had two, and they're both also using Z890 motherboards, even if it's a bit of a waste for a for some of these kind of lower end ones like 265K. Obviously you could very much use that money you'd spend towards the motherboard for a better CPU. But the problem is that, again, there were no really fantastic CPUs on offer that then still made it work within our budget. So we end up kind of overpaying for a motherboard, but that's kind of just because there was nothing else to really spend that budget on. Again, that's not how I would probably do it in the real world. In the real world, I'd either save a bit more or just spend less and then use that money on something else, rather than kind of forcing yourself to reach a kind of specific budget you set out. But again, this is just a game. This is kind of just to show what the deals are like and just to have some fun as we try to see what kind of good or bad PCs we can build. So this has been one of the most interesting ones so far. This and of course the Black Friday one, given so much going on when it comes to memory prices, the fact there have been no CPUs on sale on Amazon. Overall, very, very weird. But in the end, like, the PCs themselves aren't the worst in the world. A lot of the things about them do make sense, especially on this Newegg one right here, because you have a 5070 as well. Like, there's a lot to like. There is very much a lot to like. And I think that's pretty much it. So again, if you are going to be buying any of these parts or literally anything else on Amazon or Newegg during Cyber Monday or pretty much any other day of the year, make sure to use our links. They're going to be down in the video description below. Again, as long as you get to that website using those links, then they're going to be working. And I think that's about it. So, I don't know. What did you guys think of these? Let me know in the live chat. And if you guys found any deals yourself that you are really, really proud of, do also let me know. I was looking for some stuff myself, but like, the issue is, the main thing I really, really need is just a motherboard to do some benchmarking on. Basically, if you've been wondering why there haven't been too many reviews of stuff like CPU coolers recently, it's because there hasn't, I haven't had like a spare motherboard to review it on. Same with memory. I had a few kits sent over from Bywin, from G-Skill, including their really awesome Tridents Royales, and I really want to do like a full video on them. But the problem is that until those are all DDR5s, and I only have the only motherboard I have spare is a DDR4. Okay, I also have some like DDR3 and DDR2 motherboards spare, but you know, that's even less helpful. So I've been really in the need for a DDR5 motherboard, and of course a spare CPU as well. And I haven't really seen too many great deals in that regard. I'll probably just kind of go used instead. There's also a really interesting PC build coming up probably soon. That's also going to require an ITX motherboard. So that's going to be really interesting PC build. That's going to be in collaboration with a case manufacturer, and that's going to be using RTX. So definitely subscribe if you don't want to miss that. But again, that's going to require an ITX board. So again, that's kind of one of the main things I've been kind of looking at as well in on Black Friday / Cyber Monday / Black Friday weekend / Black Week / Black Month / whatever. Like I said, on Friday, it's just become ridiculous. It kind of just went from being 1 day to 2 days to 4 days to a week to a whole month of just, you know, sales, because these companies just all are fighting to be the first ones to kind of start all these deals. So anyway, I think that's going to be pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this live stream. If you did, then make sure to subscribe, like, whatever, and I'll see you all in whatever I make next.